Poirier here at MMA Live TV doing a reaction video for the UFC 257 McGregor versus Poirier. Mate, good for you to join us.
Yes, back after
a bit of a hiatus.
After a hiatus, we're here again. 1 year anniversary of the channel.
It has been a year, right? And funnily enough, it started off with the Conor McGregor card, right?
Now we have Conor again.
Always about the Irishman. Before we begin, mate.
Yes. There we go.
Yeah, it's not proper 12, but you know, we are
Sahi
sufficiently lubricated. Guys, before we begin, don't forget to chuck us a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel. Your support is much appreciated. Mate, let's dive into this. There was a lot of hoopla. I can't even pronounce that properly. There was a lot of pandemonium and excitement to have McGregor back into the UFC, right?
Yeah, and it's the interesting part was we're seeing a different McGregor. You know, the one that's not the brash sort of guy that we normally see. He was coming back in a different way.
Yeah, I think Michael Chan said it best. The daddest man on the planet instead of the baddest man on the planet. And look, they're all dads. I mean, it's definitely a different Conor McGregor. And you know, look, we want to talk about the fight mainly, but you know, as a casual, embrace the label. As a casual, do you like this version of Conor McGregor?
Ooh.
Surely this is not the Conor McGregor that you like, right?
Like for me, I find it interesting, right?
What's interesting about it?
The interesting part is
what's
interesting? Brash young man, and he's calling people out.
He was young, dumb, and full. Yeah. Yep.
It's interesting to see his progression into something a bit more mature. I don't know whether this is an act or not, whether he's trying to be more mature.
How can you act mature?
Or not act brash.
Yeah, okay.
But yeah, it's an interesting sort of development of Conor. But as we're going to talk about in the fight, is it the way to go?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, like, he has matured. He's got all the money in the world that he wants, so he's definitely doing it because he likes to do it. And look, let's talk about it. Let's get straight to the fight. First round, gloves are off. Bob's your uncle. They start throwing at it, and Dustin Poirier, lo and behold, starts with a hug. He goes for the takedown.
Big surprise. I did not see that coming at all.
Not at all.
I thought he would probably want to go toe to toe with Conor when striking and brawling.
Yep.
But no, he surprised everyone by literally trying to Khabib him.
Yes. Well, he definitely took a page out of the right book, right?
Yeah, and that's a very, like, Dustin was trying different things. That's what you got to do against Conor. You got to definitely try
100%
different things. You can't try to outbrawl him all the time. Dustin tried different things, and as we're talking about, the game plan, I think, is top notch. You have to respect the game plan.
I think in a lot of big fights, you can get caught up in the moment, and for Poirier and for McGregor to a lesser extent, this is his grand final. This is his, you know, all roads lead to this fight. Yeah. According to Conor, this is the red panties fight, right? This is his payday, right? So he has definitely been leading up to crescendo in this moment, and a lot of fighters get out of the focus in terms of a game plan. But you know, the fact that Dustin Poirier, a renowned striker and brawler, technical brawler as he'll call himself, came out with a game plan to take McGregor out in the first round was surprising. It was surprising that he went through with it and was quite effective, at least in the beginning, right? Yeah,
well, McGregor seemed shocked about it as well. He didn't see that coming, I think, from Poirier. He was sort of taken a bit back by it, and he just wanted to sort of regroup, I thought, after that first round. And, well, what happened in the second?
Yeah, well, before we go to the second round, I think there's definitely, like, let's rubbish this narrative that Conor McGregor's grappling is terrible, because yes, he got taken down. Was it a bit surprising? On both sides, it was a bit surprising. I think McGregor definitely wasn't expecting that. But at the same time as well, he got up pretty effectively. Like he
got out of what, like, he obviously was a bit like shocked that Poirier was doing that, but yeah, he soldiered through it, and I thought he got out of it pretty well. He got some good strikes in.
Utilized the cage, was able to stand up. They had a bit of, you know, an underhook pummel sort of war, which was all fun. And I think that you know, all this was probably engineered by the Poirier camp to tire McGregor out and you know, tick in that box. Well, that definitely worked.
Poirier really wanted to take it into the 4th and 5th rounds, but yeah, it was a definite game plan for it. That was the only way I reckon Poirier was going to win, but man, he did shock in the second.
Yeah, you really want to go to that second. Let's keep talking about this first round because well, look, he got him into took him down. Tick. McGregor, survived the takedown, was able to utilize the cage, get up. They had a bit of a pummel war, but interesting enough, and we saw this within the Cerrone fight. These damn shoulders. I don't think Poirier liked some of the action that was coming back his way.
By the way, the first round, Poirier took a lot of hits.
Oh yeah.
He did sort of stop Conor, with the wrestling, but there was a lot of hits thrown at Poirier's face, and he was just taking it like a champ.
It's interesting enough, and I think this is what happened in the first fight. Yeah. Poirier, he's a very technical striker, but he doesn't seem to have a very tight guard, either that or just the speed. And the speed of Conor's strikes were coming in through the guard. And yeah, you're right. I mean, like he has a good face for a guy that doesn't mind the getting hit quite frequently. So look, he was getting tagged, and I think all that was said and done, I believe a lot of people had it 10-9 to McGregor. I think on the totality, the first round, it was definitely a surprise to be taken down. There was a bit of a clinch war there, a bit of underhooks, but from a damage perspective, I think the lasting damage points were in favor of McGregor.
Definitely in favor of McGregor. The shots that he got in, I thought were pretty good.
Yep.
But yeah, like the tackling aspect from Poirier was
the takedown.
The takedown. Sorry,
we're in Australia. Just footy players. Volko, if you're watching, I'll let you boy.
The takedowns from Poirier was
it was interesting, right? It was interesting to see a guy that
spanner in the works. I think from Conor's point of view in terms of his game plan.
Yep. 100%.
He didn't see that coming.
Round 2, they come out again, initiate in the beginning. And what we're definitely seeing here is not another takedown. So it was interesting. It felt like
he switched it up. That was it. Like Poirier just straight up went after the legs, just kept kicking him.
Those calf kicks.
They were coming. They were coming hard and fast at Conor, and Conor, you could see his leg was starting to get. It was definitely affecting him. And you were pointing out during the fight that his balance was going a bit off.
Yeah. So I think there have been a lot of evolutions in terms of strikes, and every year we just see the development of a UFC athlete, an MMA athlete evolve. But leg and calf kicks have been, to me, some of the biggest acceleration of damage proponents in the UFC, and we saw that here. And the interesting thing is, you'll feel the pain, but unless you check it, there's a point of diminishing marginal returns where that occurs, and Conor was just very lackadaisical about it.
He was letting it happen.
He was letting it happen.
To the point where it started to annoy him. And it was affecting his balance.
Yeah.
But I was going for McGregor in this, but I got to give respect to Poirier for that game plan because that was very good.
Really good game plan. So he came in with the calf kicks. You're right. McGregor was letting it go. He wasn't necessarily checking it. No. Then towards the middle of that second round, enough's enough, mate. This is not exactly a massage. So he started catching the kicks. And they had a little bit of not necessarily a scramble, but he caught the kicks. Poirier was balancing. Yeah. And they were getting caught in these sort of firefights. And interestingly enough, even with the calf kicks, McGregor was, for most of the part, winning a lot of these firefights.
He was, yeah. Until, the end, where the calf kicks started to have the effect and he was losing his balance. And you could see that when he was sort of going towards the cage a bit more.
Yeah,
100%. And he was just not feeling confident in his balance. And
look.
When you're not feeling confident like that, Poirier was just waiting to strike.
Yeah.
And he got some good ones in.
So let's talk about the finishing sequence. The finish him. Poirier backs McGregor basically towards the fence in terms of the corner. McGregor is backpedaling at this stage. And there's no doubt that the accumulation of the damage to the calf kicks has done its toll. Yeah. And Poirier starts swinging for the fences. And this was very reminiscent of a fight that he had with Dan Hooker, where he's just used to that sort of... This is when he goes from technician to just straight out brawler. And he was missing... when you watch it in real time, it looked like he was hitting a lot. And with the, it did with the legally bot stream that we were... we're good, Dana. We're above Bob's Circuit at MMA Live. This is like a legitimate channel over here.
Dana, fuck off.
We could see that... we could see that... it looked like all was landing, but upon the replay, a lot was missing, right?
A lot of it was missing, but yeah, the ones that did land, they were pretty good.
He got him with that hook, and it was over. It was over, she wrote. McGregor hit the canvas, and unfortunately for McGregor, that's going to be another meme that I think I've started seeing it circulate in the news boards. But man, Poirier shocked the world.
Definitely shocked the world. Everyone was thinking this is just McGregor was going to run through him pretty easily. I did as well.
Yeah, look,
but you got to respect the game plan, and that's what I feel. Poirier really just had a solid game plan. He wanted to try different things against Conor.
Yep.
And he talks about after the fight that he really leaned into his kickboxing as well.
Yeah.
And that was something I think that was proved crucial in the end. Spot
on. Great game plan. Well executed. Didn't go crazy. And the fact of the matter is, for the most part, he actually was like, getting outstruck by McGregor.
Yeah, he got hit a lot.
Poirier can take a pretty punch. And again, he was able to, it was the crescendo of certain sequences that allowed the sort of finish. But when you think about, the game plan and the fight in its totality, the takedowns were designed to tire him out, tick. The calf kicks were meant to immobilize him, tick. And, I think it was a combination of those two elements that got Conor McGregor against the fence. And the finishing sequence was the finishing sequence.
Both of them, I thought, was meant to sort of put his game plan off.
Yeah,
it was put him off his game plan.
Yeah,
to put Conor McGregor off his game plan. It's just he didn't see it coming, and I think he was just sort of backpedaling ever since he got sort of taken down.
Yeah. So how impressed were you with Poirier, considering that? You don't necessarily watch the UFC a lot.
I was very impressed. For someone, mainly because of the fact that he tried different things.
Yep.
He wasn't just playing along, and it seemed like he was trying down the takedown. He was trying the takedowns. He was trying the kicks. He was trying different things, and that's how you beat the greats, right?
Yep, absolutely.
You can't just sort of outdo them in their field.
Yep.
Like Conor's a pretty impressive brawler.
Yeah, for sure.
You shouldn't just try to outbrawl him. You have to try different things, and Poirier definitely did, and he really did impress.
Mate, so what now for McGregor?
Well, McGregor said it best, right? He needs time in the ring.
Yeah.
To be honest, you can't have a year off like that
and come back against the killers, right?
Yeah, like you really have to. He has to have 2 to 3. I reckon 3 fights this year.
Yeah. Well,
if he really wants to come back, if he really wants to come back properly, have 3 fights this year. Get. I'm pretty sure there's some element of ring rust in this.
For sure, like like.
And he said that's what he's saying here himself. Like you can't be you can't be out of the game this long. You have to keep on fighting in the ring.
Yep. No, it's a brutal game, and I think even little things such as those calf kicks. I can't remember in his come up, but I'm pretty sure he hadn't fought a fighter that kind of implemented it. So you're right. No. It's just repetition, right?
Yeah.
Within the high level context.
Yeah.
How badly do you think his stock tanks after this loss?
It's kind of hard to tell with Conor. Like he loses, but then he might out of nowhere. We've heard rumors about the Pacquiao fight.
Yep.
That might just bring it back into the spotlight again.
Yeah, but look, speaking of the Pacquiao fight, doesn't all this work for Conor when he's winning though? If he's constantly losing, doesn't that? Okay. So
that does bring down his box office, and if he's not doing the whole his persona
exactly
that he does, it probably does bring it down a bit more.
So let's talk about his persona, right? Because we made a comment when we were chatting about it, and I said that he's a better human being now, but he was a better fighter when he was being a dick. I think
you might be onto something there actually.
Yeah.
He might have lost a bit of the fire that's in him.
Yeah.
And
is he almost too nice?
That's the thing, right? Like a lot of that pre-fight stuff, it's a mental game.
Yeah.
And he's not doing that anymore. So are they just sort of going into the fights not with this? It's interesting, because you look at what was different from the last time Poirier fought Conor.
Oh, you can see the trailer review that I did, but Conor got in his head bad. Yeah. He was absolutely A
lot of it is a psychology of it all.
So that's the totality of fighting, including the war games. But then if you say pound for pound from a fighting technical aspect, does that mean that his wins were as much as the mind games that it was the actual, nuts and bolts of fighting. And that goes to say, a lot of people say, Michael Chandler actually, who had a very impressive win against Dan Hooker in the same card, said it best. He summarized it best in that we all, didn't think that Conor was as good as he was, but Conor himself thinks that he's better than he actually is.
Yeah.
Which he says is a compliment because he's really confident about his abilities. But yeah, I think, look, it's interesting. He definitely needs to fight.
He definitely needs more fights.
He definitely needs more
He can't
fighting
take
time.
a year off.
And it sounds like he doesn't want to. Like, he's not doing this for money because he's rolling in dineros.
Well, it matters what he wants to do for now. Does he actually want a proper UFC comeback? If he does, then he's got to do 3 more fights this year. If this is just something where he was, just wanted to see how it is, and it's possible he's on his way out then. It might be just
too early. I definitely think he's not. So let's assume that he fights again. Yeah. Poirier was saying 1-1. They should do another one. I don't necessarily want to see that. I don't think we need to see that straight away as well. No. So who else do you think in the division? And I've got a perfect name that would just work and might actually bring back some of the old McGregor. And his name is Tony Ferguson.
Oh, you think Tony Ferguson?
Hell yeah, Tony Ferguson is a nut job. Like in a great way. If there's anyone that's gonna push, Ultimate Dad of the Year, Conor McGregor, into Ultimate Zad of the Year, Conor McGregor is gonna be Tony Ferguson, just throwing the cuckoo. Yes, they're both coming off losses. They're both relatively big names. Both probably need a win, both top 10, top 7, however you want to put it. Perfect. It's the perfect fight. I think, not saying like it's not that he needs to be rebuilt, but he definitely needs to get the reps in. And I think, to me, that's a perfect fight. I wouldn't want to see him take on. I mean, even Hooker would not be the worst, but I think name value.
Do you reckon Conor can get Tony?
Beat him or get the fight? Yes, absolutely. Tony's coming off a loss too. They're both coming off losses.
What does this do now with implications towards Khabib? Because Khabib
I don't know.
He was looking at this fight.
If I'm Khabib, I'm not impressed by what Poirier did. Which is not to say that, it's just... I don't know. To be honest, unless Poirier absolutely clonked him. When you look at the Poirier fight and the McGregor fight, Poirier got annihilated even quicker than McGregor. McGregor actually has relatively good grappling, in my opinion. And he does train with Dylan Dennis. So, I mean, again, that's not... you can say bullshit and then Dustin Poirier comes out winning again. Not to say that he doesn't deserve it, but I don't know if I'm Poirier, if that... Khabib, rather, if that excites me, personally.
So does he drop the title now? Because he's retired.
We don't know, mate. That's
he has to, doesn't he? Like you can't just hold on to that title.
That's another video in itself. just piecing together the mind of Khabib Nurmagomedov. Well, look, that's our reaction there. As always, guys, give us a thumbs up. Yeah. Put some comments below. Tell us what you think. Is Conor done? No, he's not done. Come on, mate. You can't be done after one loss.
Tell us what you know about. Let us what you know about the Eminem shade as well.
The Eminem shade. There's a lot of shade being thrown. I think there's a lot of yeah. Good on you, Dana. Good on you, man. All right, guys.
Good on you, Dana. Yeah.
Peace.
Peace.